Before you offer on that dream home, these 5 features may look amazing, but these are 5 red flags that you're overlooking that's going to cost you thousands of dollars later on down the line. What's going on, guys? My name is Cody. I'm with eXp Realty. I specialize in helping sellers get top dollar and helping buyers find the next best deal. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more valuable informational videos like these, and be sure to follow all my social medias. Be sure to contact me down in the description below if you're looking for an agent to help you find the next best deal. But without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Number 1, this may sound weird, but freshly painted foundation walls. Fresh paint in the basement or crawl space can be a huge red flag because either the seller is hiding something or hiding something that has to do with the plumbing or water. For example, they could be painting that to hide mold. Look, you never even knew that. Even, mold is actually, pretty easy to see sometimes, but sometimes sellers will hide that just by repainting something that's in the basement. You were walking around, you looked around, and it's probably an older house, but you probably looked in the basement like everything looks good. But if you take a really deep look at it, that seller could be potentially hiding mold, and that's going to be pointed out, especially in an inspection report later on down the road. So be sure to go back and go look at that house again before you place a full offer. Or if you are going to place a full offer, be sure to get that inspection and be sure to make everything is good to go. Number 2, this is going to be very controversial and rub a lot of people the wrong way, but beautifully remodeled bathrooms, especially if it is a flip property. Now, I'm not disrespecting anybody that's flipping the home, but sometimes flippers can actually be the worst nightmare, and they could be hiding some stuff too. Here's some things that you should look out for. Look for cracking, caulk separating, and sometimes tile that feels hollow or underfoot. Basically, if it feels like there's like a big deep into the ground, or it feels like there's a dip into the ground that sometimes the investor may be hiding, those can really mean either water damage or just sloppy work in general. So watch out for those red flags, because sometimes people will hide these red flags with beautiful remodeling like bathrooms, or it could be anywhere across the house. So be aware of that. And if you want somebody who's actually going to really point out these red flags for you and you possibly miss it, I highly recommend you go out there with a contractor, especially if a house it looks very well, but it's priced very suspiciously. I would recommend going out there with a contractor. Number 3, fancy landscaping and touch-ups. Now, before you call me out, just hear me out. Just hear me out for a second. Plants and a bunch of curb appeal can be very appealing, but sometimes they could be hiding something. They could be hiding things like soggy water spots after it rains, grading that slopes towards the house. I've seen it with a contractor, especially for my investors. One time I was representing, me and a contractor went out there and we seen a lot of that, and that came with a lot of foundation problems. Or downspouts that's dumping a lot of water into the foundation that can really elevate it down. So those are big red flags that could potentially cost you nearly $20,000 that you need to look out for, especially when somebody has a lot of curb appeal. Other than they wanted to keep the property up in touch. Of course, like a lot of people want to take care of their property, but always keep that in the back of your mind. Always take a good look at that curb appeal, because you never know what these people could be hiding. Because real estate is a game at the end of the day. These people want to get the most out of you with hiding a bunch of things that they don't want to disclose. Red flag number 4, which is recently new flourished floors. Now, this is another one that's going to spark a lot of controversy. Even though the floors may look nice, but you want to look out for gaps. Like I said earlier, just sloppy work or unfinished work. Guys, I had a listing one time where it had sloppy floors. The work obviously looked like it wasn't done by almost unprofessional. And guys, that resulted into a lot of feedback of people walking through the property saying that the floors are undone. I went through that process. So if you want to if you have a listing that it needs to be redone, you need a contractor, you need an agent who has access to people around the area, you should contact me down in the description below. You need to get that fixed, or that's going to be a big feedback concern from not only putting your house on the market, but actually getting feedback from buyers who are serious. And that could be a big turnoff for them. And the bonus one, listen for squeaks. Even though squeaks is very common, but you still want to hear it and look out for these tiny details that you need to look out for. And lastly, number 5, which is pretty rare, overly staged rooms. Now, I don't see this a lot, but I do want to put it on my list because this could be another red flag that, you know, obviously it make it look like somebody living there, but it's really vacant. But this can also be something that the seller is trying to hide as well. They can use rugs to hide stains. They can use rugs to hide damaged floors, furniture to cover walls and the cracks. I've seen staging where somebody covered a big crack and used a big couch to cover it. It came on the inspection report. Decorations that cover structural issues and a lot more. A lot of these people are very slick and you need to watch out for it. I've seen it countless of times, and it is a strategy that sellers do use for buyers to overlook their biggest issues, to try to get the buyer to take it as is, to later get an inspection report to say like, oh, it has all these issues. Then boom, you are stuck with a property that is $20,000 to $30,000 in repairs needed. But overall, to recap this video, you need to look for these 5 things the next time you go view a home. Freshly painted foundations, beautiful looking bathrooms, overly saturated staging for a home, fancy landscaping, and freshly covered hardwood floors, or even cracks in the hardwood floors. So if you are aware of those 5 things, you will be a pro at actually pointing out the bull crap that you will see at the next home show. And ultimately, guys, I hope you enjoyed this short video of the 5 red flags you need to look out for your next home. Like I said earlier, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. If you want more valuable information like this, be sure to check all my social medias down below. And be sure to contact me if you're going to need an agent who's going to help you point these out, or if you need connections like a contractor to help you go out there and go look for homes and point these issues out for you. Without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.